Good evening, folks. How you doing? I'm doing a video here. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to edit it in Windows Live Movie Maker. I want to show you a couple of things. First, my text slanting problem has never been resolved, so I gave up on that. I'm using Firefox, and I managed to get my password. I remembered it, and then I got in, and no problem. I'm using Firefox all the time. So I may show you a little bit of some issues that I had with the PMs aren't working in Firefox at all. They don't show up at all. There's no button to click on to get that. But that's no problem because the PMs in YouTube no longer work anyway. So that's no big deal. But the main topic of this video is I want to show you how I use Windows Live Movie Maker. Because in case some of you are not familiar with it, you may be using other programs or whatever. It's a good program overall, but it does hang up. It does stop responding or crashing or whatever you want to call it, but it's nowhere near as bad as Pinnacle. And as long as I don't try to do long clips, too many clips, or HD, I'm fine with it. And what I have to do, and somebody suggested, and I've been doing that, is to save as I go along. In other words, if I got a 5-minute clip or an 8-minute clip or even as much as 10 minutes, I will save it at that point and then continue on with it and save that. And then when I get to the last clip, I'll just continue editing, try to work with it. If it works okay and it comes out all right, then I simply delete those saved ones, those projects, saved projects in the computer, in the program. You have to do it because I can't find it in the computer, but you can find it in the program itself if you're on the program. So that's basically how I'm doing it. We're very fortunate that we didn't have any major problems when we did the Nick Anderson show, because that was a very long video, total of 58 minutes counting both clips, and there was many clips in that. And Tommy and I both use Windows Live Movie Maker. Tommy has Pinnacle as well as I do, but it's very unreliable, and nothing is more aggravating than having the program crash when you get about 90% through the editing process. Never mind the processing process, the editing process, and then have it crash on you, just like Pinnacle. Okay, so let's get started, and I'll show you my way of how I use the program. Okay, what I want to show you here is Windows Live Movie Maker. Make sure you can see this in the screen here. Alright, this is what I have been using, and I'm going to be attempting to edit this very video I'm doing now. So for those of you who have never used Windows Live Movie Maker, which is a lot more reliable, even though it does stop responding sometimes, it's not as often as that damn Pinnacle. So this is what I do. I usually go in and I'll put in where I'm going to put my titles. I go up here and I hit my titles where I want it to be. In this case, I'll just I got to look at the keyboard to see where I'm going. I changed the color so you can see it. Well, obviously, good old yellow is the only thing that seems to show up on this. And then you can go to make the text as big as you want, you know, like that. And then what it does is it plays it through, and let's say you only want it for 5 seconds or so. or whatever. You go up here and you set it for 5 seconds, and that's for the video frame, okay, or the picture I should say. Now this is still 7 here, so you got to go here and go to 5 seconds. And now when you start it from the beginning, it's going to go for 5 seconds. Your title depends. You can make the title as long as you want, up to 30 seconds. Okay, now you want to bring in another video. You right click, add videos. In this case, I'm just going to do a test here. Well, we'll put in cutting trees. Okay, now watch. This is an MP4. This is standard definition. It's a WVGA format. Okay, and it goes in rather quickly. Originally, when I had the problem, it wouldn't appear on this screen till about 2 or 3 seconds later, which told me that this was going to give me trouble. All right, so I got a blurry picture right there. So I'm going along, waiting until it clears up, and then I right-click here. Make sure I'm on camera. You right-click and set the start point. Okay, that's the start point for the video. All right, and then I go ahead and I let it play. Okay, let's say I want that to be the end. You put your pointer, which turns into a hand, right on the line where you want the video. You can bring it over to here, you can bring it wherever. Right click and go up to set the end point. Okay, that gets rid of the rest of the video, so whatever you want to do. Now, if for some reason you want to add a soundtrack to this, a lot of times, let's say you want to speed this up, okay, well, we'll add another video on here and then we'll speed that one up, okay? Okay, let it come to the end, right click, add the video, and let's find a video now that we can speed up, which will, I don't have very many in here because I have them all in my video folder. This is just the stuff that I do for my editing. All right, let's put this one in. This is from this is an Uncle Dorkle, one that I've used pieces of before. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we play it. All right, now let's say we're going to start at this point. All right, we're going to start at this point. All right, now, hey Dorkle, what? You got a skeeter on your head. Oh, it just went away. Okay, so we stop it at that point, or wherever you want to stop it. Right click, end it. Okay, now, click back up on the beginning of the clip again. Go up here to your speed. You see the 1x? Let's say you want to make it 4x. Now, with Windows Live Movie Maker, unlike some videos, when they speed it up, the sound is muted. On Windows Live Movie Maker, even if it's 2x, I got this set at 4x, but even if this was set at twice the speed, the sound will be muted. There will be no sound. Okay, now, you play it. Okay, but no sound. You notice that? Here, I'll play this part here. This is the other video. And no sound on that one. There will be no sound on this if you're using Windows Live Movie Maker. I can't speak for Windows Movie Maker because I've never used it for videos, and I can't speak for Sony Vegas, which is a rich man's program, which I can't afford. So All right, let's say you want to put sound in here now, music, okay? You go up to Home, just go to Music, add music at this point. Okay, now this is all my WAV and sound files. I have a folder called WAV and MP3 files. So let's just say I want to get something to go in that clip that's short. All right, let's find something here. Let's see what we can do. Got to be careful I don't put anything in here that's copyrighted. Now let's put this in. All right. Now, okay, hear that? And let's play it again here. Now, because this clip is muted, the original mute, it's not going to go fast, you don't have to drop the soundtrack on it. If you wanted to drop the soundtrack on it, let's say you wanted to put music in this part here, okay? Well, you can, but what you have to do is to mute the soundtrack or at least bring the music down. Now, here's how you do that. You go to Home. No, you don't go to Home, I'm sorry. I have to stumble around until I get it. There it is. The video volume's right here. Now listen to it. Hear it? Okay. It's the video volume. Turn the video volume down. Now listen. Nothing. Okay? But this will still be on. This soundtrack here will still be there because we didn't touch that one. As we get to that one, you'll hear it. Okay, so we took the audio off of the video clip. Okay, and this is what it says: video volume here. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to add sound. Okay. Alright, this is a short clip. It's a little over 3 seconds long.
Let's go, boy. What we got here is another failure to communicate.
Okay, and that's the end of the sound clip. Now, suppose you wanted to fade that down and then bring this audio track in. This is where I was having my problems. I was bringing in a lot of special effects and the program crashed. You want to bring it down. I gotta find it here. Let's see. Fade. All right, hold your mouse over to fade out the music. This is what they call the music, whether it's talking or whatever. That's what you're going to be putting in either over the original soundtrack or in place of it. In this case, it's in place of it. So we want to fade it down fast. Okay, so here, let's listen again now.
Let's go, boy. What we got here is another failure to communicate.
It dropped right down fairly quickly. Now, all right, now, you heard this here, okay? Now, let's say you want to add your sound, you want to bring back your, like if I'm doing a project video and I got something going fast here and, or whatever, or I got music in here, or whatever the case is, but then I want to stop the music because there's nothing more irritating than somebody talking and having music of some sort going in the background at the same time. You can't hear the person speaking. So I try not to do that, or I cut the volume of the music way, way down. So what you got to do is split the track, and here's how you split it. Hold the mouse over till it shows a hand. See the arrow there? Till it shows a hand, right-click on it, go up here and split. Now you got two parts to this track, okay? Now, if you was to play this, there would still be no sound. Listen. Okay, so what you got to do is go back up to your video volume, crank that back up again. It was originally all the way up because that's the way the program does it. Now listen to it. Okay, I put a different soundtrack in here, as you'll hear. All right, now this is the fast moving video. This is a still photo. Now, on this, if you right click on it, you can split it. You can have a start point or an end point, okay? But this is a photo right here. It doesn't have the frames indicating film here. This is the photo. So when you're on the photo, we'll let that play a little bit here. All right, let's say I want to stop it right here. All right. You got no options other than to remove it. So what you have to do is, this clip is 7 seconds long. See that? You got to go up here to your options. 7 seconds. Let's say you want to make it 3 seconds. Okay? So that's all it's going to be. So now, all right, it's 3 seconds. Now, the one thing about this program here you got to be very careful of is it screws up sometimes with the other video audio clips, and sometimes when you modify something down here, it takes all these soundtracks, these added music tracks, and throws them up to the beginning where you don't want them. So here's what you got to do. You're going to add the next video in here, all right, or picture or whatever, but you don't want this going into here. So this is how you do that. First of all, we'll take a clip. Let's say we'll put a video clip in there, something long enough. We'll put in this Uncle Dorkle's stuff here. All right. Now you notice the clip continues. It continues and continues on through the clip and don't end until down here on the clip. All right. So what you want to do is to highlight the music track, grab this bar and pull it with your left mouse cursor till it's right there. And then, all right, we're not splitting the video. Let's see. Splitting the music track into two. I always wait until I see what that option is when it shows up here. All right, so you hit that. All right, now it's split. Now you can left click on it to highlight it, right click and remove. And now you've got just the soundtrack of Uncle Dorkle or whatever.
Well, Uncle Dorkle, do you think I could get a job in a body shop?
Okay, so that's a quick rundown on how to use Windows Movie Maker, what I'm used to using. Pinnacle works a different way. It has a lot more features. There's more here, but the thing is, I just want to give you a quick rundown on how I use it. But when this program crashes, like I say, it does once in a while, especially if I'm doing HD, and this is not HD, this is WVGA, okay? So if you want to save this, then I save it as for computer. It's 640 by 480 resolution. I can save it recommended, but it's a larger file size. I want to cancel that a minute, because I meant to hold the mouse over here and show you. It's still 640 by 480, but it's a little better quality. 50.98 megabytes per minute of video, whereas this one is 40.71 megabytes per minute. But this is what I save it as. And naturally, I would just click save, but I'm not going to do that. And I just save it in a file called captured videos, because that used to be my capture folder when I had Pinnacle, so I put them in there so I can find them. And you just name it here. Like I say, when this program crashes, it does not give you the option to save it. Like now, it does give you the option to save it. But if this crashes and goes all white ghosty, just like Pinnacle used to do, you don't have this option.